Welcome to practice. I'm Donna Cavanough. We're going to begin laying down and take a blanket, and that's going to go underneath your shoulder blade. So it's narrow and goes across the mat. And if you lay yourself down on it, you should be able to put your arms out from your shoulders without them being on the blanket. Check that your neck feels okay, to the back of the neck long. And taking some nice deep breaths. Begin with the legs bent and the feet hip width and parallel. That'll feel the easiest on the spine. And let your spine really relax into the shape of this equipment. Taking some deeper breaths now and noticing how the ribs are bound by the blanket at the back of your body. But at the front of the body, we can really get the ribs to move. And let the breath feel satisfying. So we're going to massage across the back of the body where the blanket is now. And we'll do that just by picking up your right arm and rolling over to the left side. So the right arm is going to go and meet your hands together. And then we'll roll back to the other side. Notice as you pick up your legs to do this, that you switch on the core of the body so that you really feel like your back is supported. So the movement is one full of awareness of the flow of the breath, the feeling of caring for your spine, feeling that nice massage in your upper back across the shoulder blade. And going to the last side, to the right side. And we're going to keep rolling all the way so you can come up into an all fours position. And we'll take all fours, and you don't need your blanket. Put the hands further forward so you've got room to wave the spine. So we're going to explore the forward and back movement of the spine and start to get that wave-like flow. Let's lead with the lower part of the spine here, the pelvis. So trying to move the pelvis thoroughly forward and back and letting the spine flow along after that movement. Finding your connection to your breath. Good. Now we're going to bring the awareness to the head and let the spine flow along after the movement of the head. the neck. Beautiful. And then find your forward virasana. So take your hips back as close as they go to your heels and reaching your arms forward. And then Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. Pressing your heels, lifting your sit bones, and connecting to the breath. Sway your hips a little from side to side. So try to keep the hips moving back away from the hands. But take your time to really reach the hips side to side, lengthening the sides of the body. Letting your head just relax. Beautiful. Back to center. And walk your feet forward. And as you walk your feet forward, use it as an opportunity to really stretch through the feet. So come right up onto the balls of the feet, give the toe joints a nice stretch there. And when you run out of room, it just feels too awkward, walk your hands back and rolling up. Good. And we'll come to the front of the mat. Take some shoulder rolls. Shoulders up to the ears and shoulder blades down. We're going to take the arms up. And then Uttanasana. And we're going to sway the body from side to side. So not so much the hips, keep them still, as still as you can, but wave your spine from side. So if you reach too far forward, you get that feeling of the bones of the spine popping up to the ceiling. So put your hands up on your legs and support. So you can feel that the bones of the spine are embedded towards the front of your torso, but enjoying the movement from side to side. And back to center. Lovely. Reach your hands as far as you can towards the floor. So they might move down your legs a little bit. Maybe they're on the floor, or reach them out. And we'll look forward and we'll try to get that feeling we started the practice with, the blanket behind the shoulder blade, the pressing the shoulder blades forward, back of the neck long, connecting to your deep breath. We're bending and straightening the legs alternately from side to side. Lovely. Bend both of your legs and rolling up. Taking your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, and looking up. And then Tadasana. Nice work. Now we're going to be stepping forward and back. If it's useful to you to have the seat of a chair at the front of your mat, you can put your hands on the chair instead of the floor, then grab that now. In your mountain pose, Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Left foot back for Parsvottanasana. So we have straight leg, easing the spine forward, shoulder blades back. Good. Bend and straighten the front leg. And maybe it doesn't go all the way to straight. And if we try to straighten the front leg, notice how it tightens up the skin over the back. So find where it feels best for your back. But exploring that feeling of stretch in your right leg. And then holding where you can both stretch your leg and keep your back feeling nice and easeful. Breathing deeply. Great. We're going to put the left hand down either on the floor next to the right foot, or you might like to lift up a little bit. Your hand might be on the seat of your chair or on your leg. And we'll put the right hand, or your right leg, we'll put the right hand on the sacrum. It's from wherever your handhold is, we're going to turn the ribs now, and we're going to look over to the right side. And we'll breathe. We'll try to keep taking the right shoulder back, the right ribs back, shining the heart outward, upward. If you turn your ribs enough so it's comfortable to raise the right arm, then do that as well. Nice work. I'm going to windmill that right arm to the front of the mat. So we've got both hands there. And we're going to step forward and balance on the right foot as you lift up, finding your balance. Nice work. And then take a position with your left leg that challenges you. So you might keep your tiptoes near to the floor, maybe lifting your leg higher. Beautiful. And before you place the left foot back down, really intend where the foot is going to go, rather than just falling back into position. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana and Uttanasana. Stepping your right foot back for Parsvottanasana. So the right heel is onto the floor. And we start to bend and straighten the front leg. Just notice how you've landed and whether the skin of your back feels tight or taut. And bring the arms back, maybe even onto the front leg until you find that easier feeling for the spine. And we play around with bending and straightening. And we're looking for our biggest stretch in the front leg, but keeping that easeful feeling in the spine, where the spine embeds towards the front torso and the shoulder blades press towards the back ribs. Beautiful. Holding your left leg, as straight as you can, connecting to the flow of your breath. And we'll bring the right hand now onto the floor inside the left foot. So if you're not reaching to the floor and it's better for you to use the chair, then use the chair, or put your right hand onto your left shin or thigh. Left hand on the sacrum. Beautiful. So we're going to hold the legs as straight as you can, take the left ribs up towards the ceiling, the left shoulder back, the legs as straight as you can. And if you're turning your ribs enough to feel comfortable to take the left arm up, then take that arm up, reach up. Ah. And then windmilling your left arm towards the front of your mat. We're going to be lifting up, stepping forward, and balancing on the left foot. Nice, smooth movement. As smooth as we can manage. Bring your right foot in front and find what challenges you to balance on your left foot. You can always keep your tiptoes near to the floor if you're starting out on these balances. You might even be holding your knee or holding your foot. And then before placing the foot down, really knowing where you're going to put it and how you're going to place it. Tadasana, mountain pose. Feeling the breath and the balance of your body over your pelvis. How do the shoulders sit? How does the head sit over the shoulders? Beautiful. We're going to come into a forward bend and put your fingers at the front of the hip crease and reach the torso forward. You don't have to go to your full movement here because we're going to make a circle and we're going to draw the circle with the top of the head in the air, just beyond the top of the head. So we're feeling the core of the body stabilizing front, side, and back. Little circle or a bigger circle, a little bit harder work for the core. So decide what works for your body. Keep the back of your neck nice and long. Keep space, as much space as you can, between your ears and your shoulders. And then the other direction. Feeling that lovely shift of muscles switching on and switching off. Tension and release. Tension and then back to center and rolling up and finding your Tadasana again. And again, tension and release, front and back of the body as you lengthen. Enjoying being in your body. Tadasana, mountain pose. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Take the left foot back, and it's a bigger distance this time. We're going to bend the front knee and lift the torso, lift the arms for Virabhadrasana 1. Pressing the back heel, lowering the hips, drawing the shoulder blades down, lifting the breastbone, looking up between the hands. How much can you lengthen the belly, the chest, the armpits, the arms? Bring the hands in front of your heart. And we're going to balance on the right foot again. And we're going to keep the left leg behind, but it's going to move in a little bit and maybe lift up. So that we move from here to Virabhadrasana 3. So stepping in and seeing how you go, being balanced on the front leg. We reach the torso out over the front leg and we feel really stable in the core. You might have your left hip toes on the floor to keep your balance. Keep your hips level to the floor, lifting the left leg. And maybe you can even bring the torso parallel to the floor. So hips stay level to the floor. Oh, we try to keep balance. Ah. Mm. And then we're going to lift up and swing the left leg in front. Whoa, and be balanced on the right leg. Got some nice wobbles going. Ah, beautiful. Finding a balance challenge. So making sure your right leg is really wobbling, trying to hold you up there. You could have your left tiptoes on the floor. You could be holding your knee. Ah, and then releasing that side. Tadasana. Nice work. Ah, enjoying the flow of your breath. What it feels like to find your breath. To really feel your body. Appreciate your body. Tadasana. The tension and release of finding a posture. Urdhva Uttanasana. Oh, and we're going to step the right foot back. Nice big distance. Bend the left knee. Lift the torso and the arms, Virabhadrasana 1. How much can you bring the hips towards the floor? You're listening to your body, straightening your back leg. How much can you lift and lengthen the belly, the chest, the armpits, and looking up? Ah. Lengthening the little finger edge of the arms. Ah. Breathing. Ah. Bring the palms together and the hands in front of your heart. Ah, we're going to balance on the left foot. And we're going to lift the right leg up behind. So you might be stepping in a little bit. So your left hip wants to be over the left foot as we balance. Stepping forward. Good. So the right leg behind, maybe on your tiptoes, maybe lifting the leg higher. We'll try to keep the leg and torso in one plane. Keep the hips level to the floor. Maybe even bringing the leg and torso parallel to the floor, the right leg and torso. Preparation for Virabhadrasana 3. Ah, good. And then standing up on that left leg, bringing the right leg in front and finding your balance. Ooh. The tension and release of finding the strength to lift the core of the body, to hold the right leg up, of relaxing your shoulders and neck. The satisfaction of finding the breath. And all of the wobbles, appreciating them. Right foot onto the floor. Tadasana. In our bodies. Lovely. Now, you need a little bit of room, so step back on your mat. Let's take a blanket and put that on the middle of the mat. We're going to squat down and then bring the knees into a kneeling position. So your hands are on the floor. We're going to be moving from the kneeling position to the squatting position with your feet. So we're rolling over the feet. If squatting is out of the question, it's too painful on your knees, then you're going to do a semi-squat. And you're going to hold it with parallel feet and parallel legs. And just play with bringing the knees forward of the toes and back, forward of the toes and back. And you try and go as far forward as your knees will allow. You might start to feel a little bit of a stretch in the front of the shins. Otherwise, hands on the floor and kneeling and squatting movement. Or you might be able to do that without your hands on the floor. Woohoo. We try to get the feet moving evenly from side to side. If I was trying to set down a tray of food, I'd be spilling it everywhere. Beautiful. All right, and then we're going to take a blanket and have a seat. Bend your legs and flip your feet to your right. And you can tuck them in neatly near your right hip, or have a more of a mermaid, legs out to the side if you can't bend your knees as much. We're going to try and stretch the belly. So bring the right hand to the left leg and lean your torso back. Now, if there were 100 people following that instruction, there's probably 100 different ways that we've leant back. So you're going to explore your own. And we're leaning back to feel more the twist of the core body. So we're trying to get that twist in the belly. Looking back and letting the belly lengthen. We're finding the breath. And when you tune in to your breath, noticing the movement of your lungs, your ribs, your diaphragm. As you breathe out, the diaphragm moves into the chest cavity, and there's even more room to move the ribs. And then we're going to keep that nice strong turn and slide your left hand in and torso perpendicular to the floor. Bharadvajasana. And then releasing. And then we'll change sides. Tucking your feet in either neatly next to your left hip or more of a mermaid kind of position, depending on your needs. Left hand, right leg, and we'll turn to the right side. And then we're going to lean back in our own individual way until we can find the belly stretch. To be curious about that and see what feels best for you. The right ribs are really reaching back. And then as you find your breath, really understanding the movement of your ribs, your lungs, the diaphragm, finding what's possible with that extra space as you exhale. Beautiful. And then keep that strong twist movement. Slide your right hand in so the torso is perpendicular to the floor. Oh. And then releasing that side. Whoa, nice twisting. Okay, legs out in front. For Dandasana, staff pose. It's helpful here to use your blanket to tip the pelvis forward just a little bit so we get a good start with the forward bend movement for the spine. So put your sit bone, the bony bit, right on the front edge of your blanket. We're going to practice just tipping the pelvis as far forward as you can and then waving the spine back as you tip your pelvis back. Tip the pelvis forward and wave your spine. Okay, so we're going to be making the movement from the pelvis and use your hands to help you. And as the pelvis moves, you become aware of the tension and release. Let your spine flow and follow. Finding, too, the flow of your breath. So really noticing if the pelvis does indeed move. Maybe it feels very solidly in place. Try to pair the flow of the breath and the flow of the body. Just relaxing a little, not trying so hard. Just letting the movement be just as it is. Nice. Let the pelvis tip forward as far as you can. And then you put your hands where it makes sense. So they might stay behind you, maybe out to the side, maybe even holding your legs out in front or even your feet. And we're going to ease the bones of the spine forward. Ooh. Hashimoto Nasana. Mm. And then releasing that movement. And we're going to lift the spine, take the top of the head as high as you can, and draw a circle in the air above your head like a halo. A little movement. These are subtleties that will become evident. The bigger movement and there's more strength, stabilizing work needs to happen. So just find the size of circle that suits you. Good. And we're finding that tension and relief. The core of the body stabilizing and tensing to be strong, and the movement between and then the other direction. So the legs are out of the equation here. So there's a more evident movement to be found in the core of the body. Nice work. And back to center. And then we're going to lay down. What we're going to do now is practice rolling up to sitting. And it doesn't matter if you don't lift it all the way up, but let's give it a little try. And we'll just use some momentum. So bring the knees into the chest, cross your ankles helps, and we'll just roll up. And then we're going to roll back, but we're going to do it by laying bone by bone of the spine down and then letting the knees into the chest. Cross your ankles the other way, rolling on up. Sitting up nice and tall. Good. And then rolling down. So we're trying to have some control, or intention is a better word, about how we land. Good. And then crossing the feet at the ankles and rolling. And laying back down. Okay, one more. We're going to roll up. If you've been crossing your ankles, you could try it with legs parallel. It's a little harder, otherwise cross your ankles again. Great. Now, put your feet on the floor, legs are bent, hold the front of your knees and lean your torso back. But make sure you're really feeling the tension and release working in your body so that your spine feels supported. And we've got the core of the body really working hard to support the spine. All right, tip yourself back a little so your feet are off the floor. And if this next part feels too strong, put your feet back on the floor. All right, and then we're going to try and draw that little halo in the air beyond the top of the head. So again, smaller movement, you can tune to the subtlety. Bigger movement is stronger. So you decide, small movement, big movement. We're trying to keep the torso nice and long. And then the other direction. So that the movement, it doesn't come at the expense of your healthy spine. So we really support the spine with core awareness. Lovely. We're going to roll back bone by bone. Nice. Put your feet on the floor and continue that rolling of bone by lifting the pelvis and then bone by bone. Spine all the way up, as high as you can go. Legs stay parallel. And then bone by bone down. Ooh, and really relaxing. Lifting the pelvis. Bone by bone. Bring your arms out from your shoulders. The inside edges of your feet together, knees together. Lifting your hips and swinging them to the right, and knees are going to go left. And we're just going to lay down. Be heavy. Letting go of tension. And then inviting the tension of strong core. So really squeezing, using the core of the body to lift the legs so your back feels supported. And we'll go to the second side. Hips go left, legs go right. And we're going to lay down. Be nice and heavy. Left shoulder blade onto the floor. You can turn your head over the left arm. And letting go. This ability to find, to connect to both tension and release. Beautiful. So finding your core tension just enough to lift your legs, your back is supported, and knees into your chest. And rocking a little bit from side to side. Appreciating our bodies and the gift of yoga. Rolling to your right side and coming up to sitting. Bringing your hands in front of you. And take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.